This
T.
conference will now be recorded.
It is available in the Moodle also. So I will be uploading the link in the Moodle for you for your future use. Okay, so this is our next topic today. We are going to discuss modals of advice. There are in total, you know very well, 10 modal verbs. Uh, Let me tell you a little bit about the modal verbs. That there are 10 modal verbs in English language. They are can, could, shall, will, sorry, would, should, may, might, must, ought to. So no need to copy. I will share this file later on with you through WhatsApp or through Moodle. So these are the 10 modal verbs. Modal is another name for helping, but since these verbs have their different rules, so they have a different name also. We call them modal verbs. Can, could, shall, will, would. Because some people, especially some students, they think that should is the second form for shall. No. Shall and will both have the second form would. Should is a totally different modal verb. Then we have may, might, must, and ought to. In the last modal, the word to basically is not an infinitive. It is a part of this word. It is a part of this word. And definitely after to, we use first form. We will see all these things. All right, ji. So this is the brief introduction of the modal verb. First of all, let us look at the examples here for grammar. Notice the bold-faced, in dark black color, bold-faced modals of advice. So these are three modals of advice. Number one, daughter says, I got my first credit card in the mail today. This is what a daughter says. And then her mother says, you should sign it right away. Can any student tell me the meaning of the word right away? What does it mean? You should sign it, clear. But why the mother says right away? What does it mean right away? Any student? Correct. A very good agreed. I do agree. Yes. It means right now. Very good. Good job. Okay. And you had better not lose it. Okay. 1 minute here. I would take again. In this list, this is an other modal verb. These are basically two. Had better and were better. These modals have one very special quality. I would write here. Always use base form, that is present simple form, or that is first form after these 12 modals. So always use base form, or you may call it present simple form, or you may call it first form after these 12 modals. After had better, this is not had, this is had better. Only had is different. We will discuss had when we are discussing the past. We discussed were last time when we were discussing past progressive. But these are different words. Had better and were better. They are also modals. They are basically modals of advice. Were better refers to present, and had better refers to past. This is the thing. So I will explain, you don't worry. But the rule here is a very, very, very authentic rule. There is no change in this rule. So please be careful about this rule. Always use base form of verb, which is also called present simple form, or which is also called first form. It has another name, that is bare infinitive. This is also a name. These all four names are for the first form of verb. Some people call it base form of verb, some people call it present simple form, some people call it first form, some people call it bare infinitive. Because only infinitive means to plus first form. To go, to come, to lead, to sleep, to drink. In dictionary, whenever you look up the meaning of a verb, every meaning in the dictionary, verb, I am talking about verb. It will say VT or VIT. Whenever you look up, sorry, VIT. Whenever you look up the meaning of a verb only in dictionary, against the meaning, first thing you will see is in italics, it is written VT or VIT, sometimes both. VT means verb transitive and VIT means verb intransitive. Transitive mean, just for your memory, you can say transitive mean transfer, that the verbs which need an object to transfer the action. For example, he plays what? Football. So here play is a VT, that is verb transitive. Same verb can be intransitive also. He plays. That's good. He does not play. That is also correct. So sometimes some verbs they are particularly VT, some verbs they are particularly VIT, some verbs are mixed. For example, he died. We don't need to tell any object why he died, where he died, how he died. No, no. Action is complete, meaning is clear. But if you say he killed, you have to tell what, whom, where, how. So this is VT, verb transitive, kill, injure, call. These are all verb transitive. He called what? Called me. He called his father. He called his friend. So these are called verb transitive. So this is also a name. Anyhow, these are the names for the first form of verb. Base form, present simple form, first form, or bare infinitive form. Okay, let us go back. So the mother says you should sign it right away, right now, and you had better not lose it. You see, there is no to. Please remember, there is no to here. Don't try to write to. Sometimes students like to say, and you had better not to lose it. I know what you like, but whatever we like cannot be correct all the time. We have to follow the rule, not our choice. This is not my choice. This is not your choice. And you had better not lose it, or you had better keep it safe with you. It can be positive or negative. So we use should for advice. Advice always comes from the seniors. I mean, your younger brother cannot advise you, but you can advise your younger brother. You cannot advise your teacher. Your teacher can advise you. You cannot advise your father or mother. They can advise you. What you can do then? You can suggest them something. For suggestion, we also use should. Remember, should is also used for suggestion. The best word, best model, I mean, for advice is must, but it is not so far here in your book. So I will focus only these three, but later on I will explain you the use of all these 10 modal verbs. Okay, example number 2 here. Mother says, you ought to stop worrying so much. After stop, we always use gerund form. Please remember this. After stop, we always use gerund form, that is ing form. But after ought to, we use first form, that is stop. You ought to stop worrying. You ought to play in the evening. You ought not to play, or you ought to not play. How would you write the negative for ought to? Can any student help me? Negative for ought to. You will use not before to or after to. Okay, agree says before to, right? Right. Absolutely right. Very good. So this is the correct answer. You ought not to. If you say you ought to not, in spoken English, I mean colloquial English, English we use to talk to each other, it may work. It may work. But when it comes to the written language, please remember this is the correct rule. You ought not to stop, or you ought to stop. Good, very good. Let us continue. Okay, models of advice. Now we have a table here. I will explain you in detail these things today because these models are highly important when we come up with a speaking topic, or when we come up with a writing that explains a suggestion or advice or something like that. So for the word modal, please remember there is a word model, M-O-D-L-E, that is different. This is M-O-D-A-L, modal. Plural is modals. Dictionary meaning for the word modal is helping. Modals of advice mean helping verbs of advice. They are also called, there is another word for helping verb. Can any student tell me what is the other verb? Word helping verb has another name. What is that? It starts with A, I can help you, and it ends with Y. If any student remembers the second name for helping verb, this is helping verb. What is the second name for helping verb? Modal is different. Modal is a group. Excellent, Taif. Yes, Taif's answer is 100% correct. Very good. Very good, agreed. This is auxiliary. Auxiliary is basically a medical word, medical term. It means helping. The people who help the patients, like nurses and doctors and medical staff, they are called auxiliary staff. So, but now in language, we also use the same word to replace helping verbs sometime. Otherwise, they carry the same meaning. Very good job. Keep it up. Okay, number one, should. We use should to ask for advice. In questions. When you need advice from your father, from your mother, from your elder brother or sister, or the elderly people in your family, or your teachers, or your seniors in school, college, or university, you need some advice from them, then you use should in the question sentences, interrogative sentences, to ask for an advice. Should I show them proof of identification? You are asking your mother or father. For example, you come to ARD here in UOB, Admission and Registration Department, all right. So you can ask your seniors if you have a sister or brother or cousin studying here already in UOB. You can ask them before you come to university, should I show them my ID card or not? Proof of identification mean your ID card. Okay, so this advice is a bit friendly type of advice. It is not a very strict type of advice, but it can be. It can be. For example, you want to pray somewhere, but it is not your home, or it is not your office, or it is not your room. So you can ask the people responsible for that place, should I pray here, or this place is not for prayer, like that. So any type of advice, basically we use should. I would be more clear to you with regard to should in questions. We use should for advice in questions when we are not clear about anything. When we are not clear. But if you are clear, then you can simply state a sentence. All right. But normally we ask for advice when we are not clear. Second example, what should I do if someone steals my passport? So you are going to another country, or you are in your own country even, and you are asking your elders, or you are asking ROP, or you are asking anyone senior, what should I do if someone steals my passport? What should I do if I forget my ID during the examination? What should I do if there is a lot of traffic on the road? Any type of advice. It can be you want to reach somewhere on time, in time, sorry, but because of the traffic congestion on the road, there may be traffic blockage or any other reason. There may be a wadi, there may be heavy rain on the road, so you call someone by after parking your car alongside the road that what should I do as it is too heavy rain on the road, or as the traffic is blocked, or as there is a wadi on the road. So this is seeking advice. If you remember the word seek, I told you, seek mean to have, to get, for better understanding. That is called seek. Okay, number two, we use should or shouldn't and ought to, three words, to give advice. When you ask advice, number one, you ask for advice, you use should in questions. Why should I not do this? Where should I get this pen or this mobile or this charger? How should I talk to my friend? Right? So, like these things. That is, you are asking, seeking advice, or you are asking for advice. Now you want to give advice to your younger brothers and sisters, to your juniors in school, the students who have now enrolled in grade 11 or 12 in your school, and you know them somewhere in one or another way. So you want to give them as some advice. So here I would like to tell you one more thing. So can any student tell me the plural for advice? What is the plural form of the word advice? Yes, please. I'm waiting. Plural of advice. No, there is a plural. There is a plural, Amira. This is single. If you want to give two, three, four, five, no. Shaima's answer, Hibba's answer. Hibba, your answer is basically is the verb form. It is not the plural. No, advisory galia are basically the pronoun, the people who gives advice. Bashar, to some extent, I can agree with you. Only with Bashar I can agree a little bit, but others different answer. The answer no, I will share with you, but I am cent percent means 100% sure you know the answer already. This is the plural form for advice. Can you give me very good, Amira? Yes, no, Amira is right. Piece of advice or pieces of advice. Similarly, these are the words, some words, they are collective noun or abstract noun. They have different plural form. For example, furniture. Furniture is already a plural noun. Furniture means chair, table, bed, sofa, curtain, locker, shelf, your swing, all right, rocking chair. All these things, yeah, all these things are furniture. What is the plural for furniture? Furniture is also single. You can say items of furniture, not pieces of furniture. Item, English. Aaj. Items of furniture or articles of furniture. I need 3 articles of furniture. I need 4 items of furniture. Okay, what are those 4 items? 1 chair, 1 table, 1 sofa, and 1 bed. This is how we describe furniture. This is a long list. I am not going to that extent now. On Thursday classes, inshallah, as I told you, I will be giving you extra information about grammar. And in Thursday classes, I will be sharing with you these things. But they are very important. You cannot say they are not important. You should know how to talk about the plural of advice. You should know how to talk about the plural of furniture and so on. We will discuss them gradually. Because we are discussing the word advice, you should know that you can say, my father gave me 3 pieces of advice. You cannot say 3 advices. That is absolutely wrong. 3 pieces of advice. You understand? Don't say 3 advices. No, it is absolutely wrong. 1 piece of advice. If you want to talk about 1 advice, you cannot say, my father gave me 1 advice. 1 piece of advice. 1 advice can help you. I don't disagree, but it's not a good practice. 2 pieces of advice, 3 pieces of advice, and so on. All right, let us come back to our table. Number 2, use should or shouldn't and are to, these 3 words, to give advice. Here is a note. This note means something special. Something special. In American English, ought to is not used in negative form. Normally, even in British English, to be very honest with you, we don't practice ought to in negative form, but it is correct. If you say ought not to, I cannot cross your answer. No, it is the correct form of language. But normally, we don't use it. Okay. All right, let us look at the examples. He should get a locked mailbox. You know, in your post office, even all over Oman, if you want to have some mail through post office, you need to buy a post box there. They will give you a key. You have to pay, I think, 12 real charges per year, 1 real per month. So you get a locker in the post office. Similarly, you can have a locker in the bank. So this is what the locked mailbox means. This locked mailbox is not an email box. No, no. Email box you cannot lock. You can only secure it with password. Here mailbox mean the mailbox in the bank, the mailbox in post office, or even at your home. Because in some houses outside the door, they have a locked mailbox where they throw the water bill, electricity bill, or anything, and it goes into the mailbox which is locked. And from inside the house, you can collect the bills easily, but from outside, they are locked. Only there is a small space to insert the bills. You might have seen this thing outside the houses. Maybe some of you have this outside your house. We had in Pakistan, outside my house, I have this mailbox. Okay, so he should get a locked mailbox. Here, locked is an adjective. It is the quality of the mailbox. When we come to adjectives, inshallah, I'll explain you because adjective is one of my favorite topics in language. Second example, they shouldn't. You can use positive also. These are just examples. First example we did with should, second shouldn't. They shouldn't send personal information by email. By email or in email or through email, all 3 prepositions are correct. You can say by email, you can say in email, or you can say through email. All the 3 prepositions are absolutely correct. For email, there are two ways to write. Yes, yes, please.
What's the difference between should and ought to?
Yeah, I am coming to that, Bayan. Good question. Very good question. I would appreciate. I am coming to that. In your book, these things are not written. To be very honest with you, your book hasn't given you the details for these things, but I will give you right now. Don't worry. Okay, so there are two ways to write the word email. Sometimes we put a hyphen sign between e and mail, that is electronic mail. Sometimes we don't write, no problem. In both ways it is correct. So there are three propositions you can use to talk about email: through email, by email, or in email. You can say, I will send you the details in email or by email or through email. Okay. So for Bayan's question, let me come to the point first. I may forget. Should basically we use suggestion for personal life. When I need any suggestion or advice for my personal life, I want to start a business, I want to go for a new educational degree, I want to take a major, whatever it is about my personal life, I will use the word should for advice, giving advice or seeking advice. But the word ought to basically is used for moral, religious, or ethical advice. When you need any advice about saying prayer, or you can say, for example, I can say, as your teacher, I can give you advice that you ought to respect your parents. It is not your personal problem, it is a religious thing, it is an ethical advice, it is a moral advice. All right. You ought to say prayers in time. It is a religious advice. All right. You ought to keep your home neat and clean. It is an ethical advice that wherever you live, you should keep your space around neat and clean. This is the main difference, Bayan, between these two. Normally, it is better to use should for personal usage and ought to for religious, moral, or ethical issues. Clear? Let us continue. So they shouldn't send personal information. You see, should and personal. He should get a logged mailbox. This is my personal thing. This is not a religious matter. This is not a moral, ikhlaqi, moral matter. This is not an ethical matter. But you ought to ask your boss to keep your personal information in a logged file because it is an ethical issue. If you do not keep your personal information in a log file, your boss may ask you, why have you kept the files on the table? This is highly confidential. Why these files are lying on your table? When you are not in the office, anyone can go through them. So please keep them in the locker. So this is called an ethical advice, a moral advice. It is not religious in this example, but you can use the word R2 for religious advice also. The best use for R2 is religious advice. Best use. Okay, clear now? Make sure. Number three, details are coming. This topic is a very, very comprehensive topic, inshallah. So I need to discuss it with you in a very detailed and comprehensive way. Okay, use had better. You can also say comma D better and had better not, comma D better not, apostrophe you mean, to give strong advice. So there is a level. Yes, here I agree, especially with number one and number three, there is a level. In number one, it is general. Number one and two, sorry. Number one is asking for advice, number two is giving advice. These are general pieces of advice. For example, if you are sitting in a chair and I see you, I can give you advice. Don't, you should not sit in this chair, you should sit in that chair because I don't find that chair okay. All right, it may get broken. So this is a normal advice. But had better normally when we can predict the person who is giving advice. Normally had better we 99% we don't use in questions. We don't use in questions. We use it in affirmative sentences. They can be positive, they can be negative. So had better we use when we feel there may be a problem later on. For that thing, we use had better as an advice. For example, we had better shred those papers. Shred mean, these days there are shredding machines in all offices, in all printing shops, in all photocopying shops. When you make a photocopy and it is not okay, the shopkeeper will insert your paper into a small machine, just like you can say microwave oven. This machine will shred. Shred actually means to cut into very, very, very small pieces. That is called shred. So we had better shred those people, because if you find any document, you make a copy and the photocopy is not okay, does not mean just throw it in the waste bin. No, this is absolutely wrong. Anyone, even the shopkeeper, might misuse that photocopy to apply for a loan in the bank, to get another SIM on through your name. So please make sure that you never throw any photocopy of your personal documents or academic documents into the waste bin. Shred them, tear them out into small pieces, so small that no one can combine them again. This is called shred. So, because you see now, it is a bit strong advice. Why? If you do not shred the papers, I have already told you the problems you might face. So, when we have an alarming situation, a danger in our mind, we use had better for advice. If I see that if you do this, you may suffer from this problem, then I will use had better. But if I see there is no problem, for example, if I tell you, you should not sit in this chair, there may be no problem. But because the color of the chair I don't like, or the chair may not fit your size, or the chair may be too high or too small or too slim, there is no danger, there is no problem. But if I feel that the chair is likely to break, then I may tell you, you had better not to sit in this chair. Why? Had better means there is some problem with the chair. Okay, you may fall down, chair may get broken, or anything can happen. You understand now the use of had better? If there is a problem, please ask me again and again and again. All right, good. So we had better shred those papers. Another example, you better not throw those papers in the trash. As I told you already, don't throw your papers in the waste bin. Consequences can be alarming. Consequences. You know consequences, no? And again, you see letter Q. Yesterday I told you we never use Q without U. So consequences mean results. Results can be alarming, or in simple language you can say dangerous. So the consequences can be alarming if you discard your important documents or copies of your documents into trash bin. So you should shred. You had better shred those papers. Any questions so far? No question. Okay. A few more things about. 1 second. Yeah, you are also right, Bayan. Okay. So here is a bit more information to share with you. about modals of advice. A bit more information to explain you in a more detailed manner. Yeah, Zahra and Bayan mean the same, even agreed. But Bayan has used another language. I know the language. Anyhow. Okay. So here we have a model pattern. Yeah, this is very important. This model pattern on the left side, if you see this one, this is highly important for you to remember, because sometimes students make a mistake. Look at the words in parentheses. They are called what we say prefixes and suffixes. Modals are always followed by a base verb. As I told you already, I would share this file with you also, inshallah. Always use base form. This is the exact name for this, by a base verb. A base verb is a verb with no ending. No ending means there is no s, no ed, no ing, etc. added to it. No ending added to it. You understand? This is called a base verb. We never add any s or es or ed or ing or anything like that with the base form. That is why it is called base, original, real verb. Okay. Now there is a suggestion scale. The same question which Bayan asked me. Again, there is another way here to, yeah, infinitive basically, Galia, this is infinitive. This is called infinitive. Always remember. In Arabic language, you know, there is a masdar na, nun alaf na. So that is called to go, to come, to sleep, to eat. With all verbs in language, we use to. Dictionary meanings of every verb are always infinitive. Whenever you look up the meaning of a verb in dictionary, the dictionary will always give you the infinitive meaning. For example, if you look up the word, for example, to go. Dictionary will tell you to move, to walk, like that. Not walk, to walk. Because only go is an order. If I say go, it means I am giving you order. To go, again, Bayan, you are again confused. After to, we must put. No, to is infinitive. You could not understand, Bayan, my point. Sorry. No problem. To means infinitive. Oh, to plus. I will tell you in a different way so that you are not confused. This is the correct form. To plus bare infinitive. Because to is infinitive. The verb with to is called infinitive form. If you remember that table which I told you, there is first form that is called bare infinitive. There is second form that is called past simple. There is third form that is called past participle. There is ing form. It has two names. Yesterday we discussed present simple or gerund. Okay. And there is s or es form, goes, comes, does, eats. That is indefinite form. And there is to plus first form, that is infinitive form. Yeah, I understand your meaning, Bayan. I don't say your meaning is wrong. But I mean after to, we must put bare infinitive, not infinitive. Infinitive means to. You understand? Infinitive means to. So after to, we use bare infinitive. You understand now? I think it is clear. Again, I would refer to that file which I shared with you in the first week of your studies, my own grammar rules, which I shared with you. Please go through that file daily. It is very clearly written there, the names of the forms of the verbs. You will get, inshallah, very comprehensive information about the forms of the verbs and their correct names there. All right, but this is very good that you ask me questions which clarify Not only you, but all your friends. All of you are doing this thing very good. I like that. Keep it up. Don't stop these things. Okay, so let us come here. This is again the same thing which I told you that Bayan asked me. The level, the difference. Suggestion scale. We have a scale. Which one is more powerful or more influential, and which one is less powerful or less influential? Had better is stronger suggestion. As I told you that whenever we have a fear, we feel that there might be a problem, then we use had better. We keep the result in our mind. We don't share the result with the person we are talking to, but we use the word had better. Okay, so this is had better. And ought to or should, they reflect or they represent a bit weaker suggestion or advice, you may say, a bit weaker. Let us come to number 3, as I discussed with you already, again, because I want you to understand these things very, very, very correctly. Should is the most common model of advice. Should and must. Here I have a question again. I love questions, you know. When you ask me questions, I love it. When I ask you questions, again, I love it because I get answers from you. Can any student tell me the difference? We are learning English language. So I need the answer in English. When I ask you a question like this, what is the difference between advice and suggestion? They both are noun. I mean, if you should tell me an answer which I can explain to a 5 years old boy or girl, to a KG1 student, to a KG2 student. Your answer should be so clear. So what is the difference? How would you differentiate that this is advice, this is suggestion? For example, if I ask you what is mobile, you can show me the picture. Okay, all right, this is mobile phone. I understand. You cannot show me advice and suggestion. So you have to explain me now. Can any student help me to differentiate between advice? Then the things will be more clear to you. Yes, any answer, please. It is your time. I am waiting. Suggestion, it's okay if you do it or not. Advice, it's good. Very good, Amwaj. And Manal, your answer is also right. And Amira, also right. I do agree. Yes, Hajar is also right. Absolutely right. Zahra is right. I do agree with you. Yes, agreed is also absolutely right. Mashallah, all of you have given me correct answer. Yes. So the main thing, especially all your answers are correct. I would be honest with you, but I would refer here to Amwaj answer particularly because that is very, very clear. Very good job, Amwaj. But again, all of you have given me 100% correct answer. It makes me happy. Uh, the way I wanted to explain you, Alhamdulillah, Amwaj has already done it. Thank you very much, Amwaj. You saved my time. Suggestion means it's okay if you do it or not, Khali Wali. But advice, it is good if you do it. This is the main thing. The main difference between two. Very good job. All of you have done. Yes, advice again, as Amira says to do, yes. Yes, again, Amira says just took correct. And Ahad suggestion is not one but rather more. Yeah, it can be. Actually, Ahad, both advice and suggestion can be plural. That is singular plural. Yes. Again, Amira is correct. So very good. This is the point. So advice, normally there is another meaning which I would like to share with you. We use advice when normally we have past experience. For example, if as you know, I have gone to school, I have studied. Now I know what is the value of education. So I will give you advice. But if someone has never gone to school, he or she cannot give you an advice about education. He or she can suggest you. Suggestion has no experience. For example, I am not a pilot. I have never flown an aeroplane, to be very honest with you. I wanted to be a pilot in my life. Two times I took the exams in Pakistan, but in final exam I failed both times. Allah Kareem. Otherwise, I would never be your teacher. I would be a pilot. Anyhow, it's okay now. Alhamdulillah. I am happy always. So, since I have no experience of flying the aeroplane, so I cannot give you an advice how to fly an aeroplane. I can give you a suggestion because I have no experience. So I can give you a suggestion that while flying the aeroplane, please be confident. I have no experience. Yes, Allah Kareem. I have no experience, but I am just suggesting you. But I have traveled by aeroplane many times in my life. All right. So here I can give you advice that while traveling by air, please always travel light. This is a very good phrase. I often like to use it. Travel light. It means, what does it mean, travel light? Can anyone tell me? Travel light. You can travel it even at night. But what is the meaning of travel light? Can any student share the answer? Meaning? What do I mean? Travel light. It's an advice. I personally like to travel light. This is the meaning. With very, very, very less luggage. If you are going, for example, when I went for Hajj in 2015, either you believe it or not, I had only a shoulder bag. For Hajj, 15 days I stayed there. Yes, Hajar is also absolutely right. Travel with little things or less things. Very good. So this is called, yeah, this is called travel light. So I can give you advice, but for flying aeroplane, I have no experience, so I can give you suggestion. This is one basic difference. But again, let us come back to here. Should is the most common model of advice. R2 is more formal. Formal, as I told you. Formal. When you are talking to your family members, your mother, your father, your teacher, you have to be very careful. But when you are talking to your friend, you can be informal. Normally, the girls, when you are talking to your mother, you are informal. Because as I told you yesterday, mother and daughter are always very good friends. Similarly with boys, because we are the same gender, the boys can be very informal with their father. When you are a boy now, you are a university student, no more school student. So you are grown up now. So you have to be very careful when you are talking to your mother. But you can be very friendly with your father, boys, I mean. Similarly, the girls have to be very careful when they are talking to their father. But they can be very friendly with their mothers. So this is called formal and informal. Formal mean careful. Informal mean no problem. Allah Kareem, khali wali. That is called informal. So when you are formal, it is better to use R2, as I told you. And it is becoming more and more old fashioned in American English. On the rare occasions, very less occasions that it is used in speaking, it is often pronounced ata, atu, atu. This is the sound. R2 is a slightly stronger suggestion than should. But the difference is not important. R2 is not used in questions. As I told you, we can never use R2 in question. Even had better is not used in questions. It is not a good idea to use it. It can be, had better can be, but it is not a good idea. Yes, Bashar is also right. I did not read Bashar's message, and Hajar agrees, Ayam also agree. If you have a girl in the family, not a girls or a girl, anyhow, in the family, so it's with comma, Bashar. Impossible to travel light. Yes, you are right. Minimum 5 kg will be the weight for makeup kit, and about shoes and clothes, I have no idea. Okay, so I'm just joking. Don't worry. R2 is not used in questions and is rarely used, rarely, in negative sentences. As I told you, it is not a good idea to use R2 in negatives. All right. I like, smiling faces, jolly type of class, not very serious. Because main purpose is learning. And learning always comes through pleasure, remember. The Greek philosophers used to say learning comes through pleasure. So if you are pleased, you will learn. And when you learn, you will be pleased that you have learned something. This is highly important. Okay, had better is common, as we discussed earlier. Just a bit more information to share with you. When making a stronger suggestion, I will also share this file with you, inshallah. It is often shortened to better. Had better is not used in questions, as I told you. In casual speaking, casual mean very informal, casual, informal. Your sleeping suit, when especially the boys, including me, I am not a boy, I am a man of 50, but I just mean because when you have children like you, so I have children like you, I have children at home, they are also young. So I also feel young that my children, my students, my daughters, my son, they are young like me. I feel young. Alhamdulillah. So uh, for sleeping suit, we have different, for sleeping, sorry. We have a different suit, a trouser and a t-shirt. So that is called casual. C-A-S-U-A-L. There is a word cause, C-A-U. This is C-A-S-U. Please remember. In casual speaking, casual mean when you are speaking to your friends, to your cousins, or girls are talking to their mother and boys are talking to their father, if you have a very friendly relations with your mother or father. Because in our case, when we had parents in our childhood or school age time, there was a bit gap between father and mother. Even if you look at your parents and your grandparents, they have a little bit gap. They are not as friendly as you are now with your parents, and my children are with me. Now the time has changed, and this is the best way Islam likes, that parents and children should be friendly with each other. Okay, in casual speaking, had is sometimes dropped. You better. Speaking only. Speaking, please remember, not written. In speaking English, even I sometimes say you better go there. The correct word is you had better go there. But normally we say you better go there. It is in spoken English, it is okay. It is acceptable. Let us come to number 4, sentence pattern. This is main summary of the all lecture. First, we have some positive examples here. You should study tonight. You ought to study tonight. You had better study tonight. Look at the form of the verb. It is without to. R2 is a full word. It is not to form. You cannot say you should to study. No. You ought to study. No. You had better to study. No. Number 5 example, if you see, number 4 is the short form of had better. You'd better study tonight. And sometimes in spoken English, we say you better study tonight. Spoken, not written. Spoken, spoken. Negative, you should not go out tonight or you shouldn't go. You ought not to go. For negatives, again, you see here double star. In spoken English only spoken English. For R2, when we use it in negatives, we remove two. In spoken English, but in written, you have to write two. So in spoken English, you can say you ought not go out tonight, but in written English, you ought not to go. Okay, these two stars mean they are again spoken English. You had better not go. You'd better not go, or you better not go. Again, this is spoken style. This star and this star is number one for had better, and double star is for R2. Okay, question. Should I go out tonight? When you are asking for permission? And as I told you, had better and R2 are normally not used in questions. All right. So this exercise I will share with you, or we can do it right now. But first, let us do something from here. This is more important. Now the page is with you. Okay. Here are 5 sentences. Question says find the errors. Let me change the font so that it's a bit clearer to you. Okay. Find the errors in these sentences. Okay. This question I will take to the next page. I will double this space. Control 2, it will double this space. Control 1, single space. Control 5, 1.1, 1.5 line spacing. Control 5. Okay, so find the errors in these sentences. This is first part of the question. This question has two parts. Number 1, find the errors. Number 2, write the sentences correctly. I am giving you 10 minutes. Please check them, find the errors, write the correct answers. Then I will check your answers. You have 10 minutes. Please go ahead. Continue. So when you finish, please tell me. Some of you have done it. Okay, let us check the answers. Though still it is 7 minutes, you have 3 minutes. Mashallah, mashallah. Okay. He ought take him to emergency room. Yeah, Hajar, but what is the ought to take? Yes, Hibba's answer is absolutely right. Hajar, I think you forgot to add to, right? He ought to take him. You should help people. Okay. So, do you agree? This is not a grammar question. Do you agree that we should always help the people? Do you think then they will learn how to help themselves? We should guide the people sometime also. Don't help the people all the time. Sometimes guide them how to help themselves. Remove two in number two. Very good. He has better do CPR. Had better do. He ought to take him. Correct. Don't use not. I had better put hot water on the burn. Correct. Ought to take. Ought to. They not. Ought to. For number four. No. Amira, I think you again got a bit confused about the order. In number four, they ought not to. They ought not to hurt his leg. Or they ought to hurt his leg, it's okay, but even if you don't use not, it's better. But you can say they ought not to hurt his leg because it's a good advice. We should not. In number two, remove two. Correct. You should help people. Remove two. Had better do CPR. Correct. Had. Number three. Very good. They ought not to. Yes, agreed is also correct. Ought not to. Shaima is correct. I had better not put. Very good, Taif. They ought not to. Fatima, correct. No, Rayan again. Ought not to. Ought not to. I had better not put. Agreed is correct. Hajar, I had better put out. It's up to Hajar. I don't know. But it is better not to put. Not put hot water. You had better not. No, Rayan here again. Don't use to after had better. Don't use to. I had better not, correct. Was better not or had better not, correct. Very good. Had better not, correct. Better not, had better not. Yes. All of your answers are absolutely right. Very good. Very good, mashallah. So you understand very well. Let us go to the next question. This is a very, you can say, learning type of question. If you do it, to be very honest, and I hope inshallah all of you will very easily do it. If you do it, it means you understand the main discussion today. Again, look at the question. There are three questions in this question. Number one, write sentences to give advice. This is question number one. Number two, use the verb and the information in parentheses. So verb is number two and information in parentheses number three. You see the word parentheses, I told you in the first week. Frequently this word is appearing. So it is not brackets. In mathematics it is brackets. In English it is parentheses. That is why I told you I believe in learning and teaching correct language. So here are some words given. The first one, if you like, I can do with you. What should I do if someone's heart stop beating? So you answers, in all your answers, I can help you here with one thing. You should, I mean you will use you, because when the question says I, answer will say you. So please start your answer with you. You should do CPR. First answer I can do with you. CPR is a medical term, all right. You should do CPR. So this way you should. You have to answer sentences 2 to 6. Please go ahead, take your time. You still have 10 minutes because I need 3-4 minutes to check your answers. Go ahead, please. I'm waiting. If there is any confusion, I am here. Ask me about this question. Once you finish, just let me know. No, Zahra, you can never use to after any of these 12 words. Can, could, shall, will, would, should, may, might, must, ought to, had better, and were better. You can never use to all your life. You can never use. Clear, Zahra? So when I say never, it means 100% not. It means 100% not. It is not 50% or 30%. Alhamdulillah. Very good, Ahad. Very good, Ahad. Excellent. Manahal also absolutely right. You should take him to the hospital. But main Manahal focus the words given in parentheses. Your main focus should be the words in parentheses. Try to apply a bandage and you should try, it means. Always use you should in the beginning. Correct. Try to apply a bandage and put pressure on the wound. You should apply a bandage and put pressure. Correct. Uh, so Hajar, your answer is correct. Why do you write E? E. I could not understand. Pressure for pressure you forgot E. Okay. Yes, why not? You can use head better. Taif is also right. It is better to put ice and bandage on the joint to reduce pain. Very good. So you can also use it is better or you had better. But again, Ahad, here is the problem with your answer, last one. To put, oh, we cannot use to. You had better put ice and bandage on the joint. Because this answer, Ahad, is spoken language. You ought to try to make him calm. Yes, Manahal is also right. I cannot disagree. You should put ice. Very good. Ajar is also right. Agree says you had better put ice. Correct. Absolutely right. Zahra says you should put ice and bandage. Correct. You ought to put ice and voice says absolutely right. But I would definitely, I would say all of you have done very well here. But again, Taif has given a new idea that is also correct. Since all these things are leading to a dangerous consequences, yes, Hibba's answer is absolutely right. So since all these things are leading to a dangerous consequences, it is better if we use had better also. But your answers are correct. I cannot say your answer is not correct, 100% correct. You should prevent him to move, correct. Very good, Manahal. But again, Manahal, focus the words in the parentheses. We cannot give any other information. Even if you are a certified nurse, you are learning language only, right? So focus the words in parentheses. Yes, you should remove the stinger, correct? You had better do abdominal thrust, correct? Very good. So our main focus are the words in parentheses, as the question says clearly. Use the verb and the information in parentheses. So this instruction of the question you have to follow in every condition. Very good job. So I stop the morning session here. It's almost 1 hour 30 minutes now. If you have any question, please let me know. You should lay the victim on his back and elevate his legs. Correct. Very good, Hajar. Only check the spelling, the elevate. I know typing mistake. Don't worry. So it is absolutely right. Very good. So inshallah, we continue after the break. All right. So still I cannot share that file with you because I have some exercises. Correct, Hajar, very good. I have some exercises to discuss with you from the other PDF file. I mean this file. I cannot share it with you because at the end of this file there is answer key. Yes, Zahra is absolutely right. You had better lay. I do agree with you, Zahra, also. So this morning session is over. Please stay safe, stay home. Remember me and my family in your prayers. See you all at 12 inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.